Do narcissists acknowledge their narcissism? It relates to ego-syntonic and ego-dystonic behaviors. Narcissists prefer ego-syntonic actions, often lacking self-awareness due to high self-esteem and low empathy. So, how do narcissists view their own self-worth? 1. I'm the center of the universe. Narcissists genuinely believe that they are the center of the universe. Dr. Craig Malkin, a clinical psychologist, explains, they have an inflated sense of self-importance and expect special treatment from others. It's as if the world revolves around them. Some experts believe that if things and needs don't quite go right during childhood, it can lead to narcissistic tendencies later in life. Another theory is that narcissism can develop as a defense mechanism. It's like a shield people use to protect themselves from insecurity or low self-esteem. When someone says, "I'm the center of the universe," they might not be joking. Narcissists genuinely see themselves that way, and it's a fascinating, though challenging, aspect of human psychology. 2. I'm perfect and everyone else should recognize it. Dr. Ramani Durvasula, an American clinical psychologist, points out that narcissists genuinely believe they're flawless and expect everyone to admire them. It's like they've got this constant need for a standing ovation. They think they're entitled to it. It's not just about wanting praise, it's about feeling they deserve it all the time. But here's the kicker, they can't handle criticism. In their minds, it's inconceivable because they see themselves as beyond any kind of criticism. Psychologists have been studying narcissism for a long time. According to the American Psychological Association, APA, narcissism relates to a grandiose sense of self-importance, a lack of empathy, and a constant need for admiration. Dr. Durvasula's observations align with this. Seeing things from others' perspectives becomes a real challenge when someone believes they're perfect and beyond reproach. They're so wrapped up in their world that they can't truly connect with or understand what other people might think or feel. 3. I deserve only the best. Dr. Durvasula, a noted expert in this field, tells us that narcissists genuinely believe they're entitled to the crème de la crème of everything, the fanciest stuff and the most attractive partners. They often go to great lengths to flaunt their status symbols, like flashy cars or designer clothes, to prove their worth. This "I deserve the best" mindset is closely tied to a psychological concept called narcissism. This term isn't just a label, it's a real thing psychologists study. It involves a few key traits, like having an overinflated sense of self-importance, craving excessive attention and admiration, and having a bit of a blind spot when understanding and empathizing with others. So, when a narcissist insists that they deserve only the best, it's their way of showcasing their grandiosity. 4. My feelings trump everyone else's. Empathy isn't a strong suit for narcissists. Psychologist Dr. Joseph Burgo explains, they lack empathy because they are too absorbed in their own emotions. They might not intentionally hurt others, but their self-centeredness can lead to it without realizing it. Imagine if you're talking to a narcissist about something that's bothering you. They might listen, but deep down, they're more interested in how your problem affects them or how they can turn the conversation back to themselves. It's not that they're intentionally trying to hurt you. It's just that their self-centeredness often closes their eyes to the impact of their words and actions on others. 5. I'm superior to others. When we say that narcissists think they're superior to others, it's not just a casual observation, it's a psychological pattern. Dr. Craig Malkin points out this critical aspect of narcissism. He highlights that narcissists believe they're better than others and tend to look down on people they consider inferior. It's as if they're living in their little kingdom, with themselves as the rulers and the rest of us mere subjects. This superiority complex is often used in psychology to describe this mindset. It's not just about having high self-esteem or confidence. It's an exaggerated sense of self-importance and entitlement. It's like narcissists constantly need to assert their dominance and prove their greatness to others. Dr. Malkin says this superiority complex can lead to condescending behavior and strained relationships. It's hard to empathize or relate to others when continually looking down on them. People might feel belittled or used, and that's not a recipe for healthy relationships. Hello viewers, did you know that 80% of you haven't subscribed to our channel yet? If you're finding this video helpful and educational, please consider subscribing and giving it a thumbs up. Your support means a lot to us. It really helps us a lot. Let's continue, shall we? 6. I need constant validation. Dr. Burgo mentions that narcissists require constant validation from others to maintain their self-esteem. They crave compliments, admiration, and applause. They may feel deflated without it. Psychiatrists and psychologists have also discussed the mask narcissists wear. They put on this facade of grandiosity and superiority to cover up their inner doubts. Constant validation helps maintain that mask and keeps their fragile self-image hidden. It's important to note that this constant need for validation can create a vicious cycle. Narcissists get their ego boost, but it's never enough, so they keep seeking more and more. It can strain their relationships because people can only give so much validation. 7. I'm a master manipulator. Narcissists can be incredibly charming. They use their charisma to draw people in. This charm can be genuine, at least initially, as they often have an uncanny ability to make others feel special and valued. Narcissists are skilled manipulators. Dr. Durvasula warns, they'll use charm, flattery, and manipulation to get what they want. Their manipulative tactics often serve their need for admiration and control. Narcissists manipulate to maintain control over others. They want things to go their way and will use manipulative tactics to ensure that happens. 8. I'm impervious to criticism. Dr. Malkin emphasizes that narcissists have a fragile ego deep down. To protect themselves from criticism, they often engage in self-enhancement and denial. It can make it challenging to have a genuine conversation with them about their flaws. They're so busy protecting their ego that they won't even consider that they might have room for improvement. And here's a little quote from Dr. Malkin himself to sum it up. Narcissists build a wall of invulnerability to shield their fragile self-esteem. This wall can make it nearly impossible to get through to them about their imperfections. 9. I'm fearful of being ordinary. According to psychologist Dr. Jeb Kinnison, narcissists fear being ordinary. This fear drives them to seek constant validation and attention to stand out. And it's not just about seeking attention, it can also be about power and control. By making themselves the center of attention, they can control the narrative and feel like they're in charge of how others see them. It doesn't mean every attention-seeking person is a narcissist, but it's one trait that can be associated with narcissism. And while it's normal to want recognition and validation from time to time, constantly seeking it at the expense of others can be problematic. 10. I'm always right. Narcissists have a hard time admitting they're wrong. Dr. Burgo explains, they see admitting fault as a sign of weakness. Consequently, they'll often go to great lengths to justify their actions and maintain the illusion of infallibility. It's like they're wearing a shield of self-importance that prevents them from seeing their flaws. But, as you can imagine, this can make it tough to have a constructive conversation or relationship with them. Narcissists stick to their twisted narrative, I'm always right, and it's not easy to break through that. So, do narcissists know they're narcissists? Some might have a flicker of self-awareness, but many are too busy chasing the spotlight to stop and take a good look in the mirror. Ultimately, it's up to the rest of us to recognize the signs and navigate these tricky waters with caution. After all, understanding the complex world of narcissism can help us better relate to those around us and, perhaps, even extend a lifeline to those lost in the sea of self-love. Like this video if you learned something. Subscribe to this channel for more narcissist-related videos. Make sure you watch another enlightening video over here.